Sergeant!
Go in, sir!
General!
What is going on here?
Orders of the court, sir. The prisoner was found guilty. Conspiracy against the government by sending a false and misleading dispatch containing forged orders.
The court has been misinformed. That dispatch was never sent!
Thank the Lord! So Captain Thorne is a free man!
Captain Thorne,
General!
or whatever your name may be, the President has been fully informed, and I need not say that we look on you as a cursed, dangerous character.
Ha!
You will be held as a prisoner of war!
So, my dear Edith, what is it? Love and goodbye?
No, only the first. Love every day, every hour, every minute, until we meet again.
Until we meet again!
Oh.
The Star of the Adelphi by Bert Coules, with Clive Merrison as Sherlock Holmes and Andrew Sachs as Dr. John Watson, and featuring John Bett as Richard Arthur Prince. The Star of the Adelphi.
Weather's certainly turned.
Yes. Does it affect business?
Now, you know I don't worry about that kind of thing, Johnny. I, sir, am an artiste. Ready?
Looking forward to it. Lead on, artiste.
Oh, just a minute.
What? I thought you were in a hurry.
This is important.
Mr. Terriss! Mr. Terriss, it is you, isn't it?
Madam, I cannot deny it.
This is such a thrill, a privilege. George, it is him. I was right. I told you I was right.
Good evening, Mr. Terriss.
Good evening to you, sir.
My wife is a great admirer of yours, sir. Oh, as am I.
You're very kind. Mr. and Mrs.
Charlton, sir. Mr. and Mrs. Charlton.
Emily.
Mrs. Emily Charlton. It has a theatrical ring to it.
Oh, Mr. Terriss.
Come onto the stage with me, Emily, and I'll make you the most famous name in England.
Mrs. Charlton works in a dress shop.
Shut up, George.
And I'm sure she does so most charmingly. Now, I believe I have... Ah, yes. Perhaps I might present this to your lovely wife, Mr. Charlton, if I'm not being too bold.
Oh, of course you're not. May I look? Oh, that's you in the Silver Falls.
Eric Normanhurst, one of my favorite roles.
We saw it 6 times, didn't we, George?
We did, yes.
Then, let me see. Ah, yes. To the lovely Mrs. Emily Charlton, one of my most devoted admirers.
Oh, Mr. Terriss.
And now, good evening to you both.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And thank you.
Come on, Emily.
Thank you.
Come on, Johnny. Step out, or I shall be late.
Well, I couldn't do it. Same thing day in, day out. I'd go mad.
But it's not the same, Johnny. Never is.
Mad inside a week. Hello. Looks like another one.
Where? Oh, yes. Excuse me.
Oh, you go ahead. I'll keep out of your light.
You know more about my business than you let on, you old fraud.
Go on. Don't keep your public waiting.
Won't take long. Ah, good evening.
Ah! What the devil?
Ah!
Good God.
Something interesting.
Oh, something amazing. William Terriss has been murdered.
By a theatre critic.
That is in extremely bad taste. By an unknown assassin, it says here.
Any useful details?
Well, let's see. Stabbed repeatedly outside the stage door of the Adelphi Theatre, where he was currently taking the leading role in The Secret Service, a successful...
If melodramatic, no doubt.
and popular stage play by the noted American author Mr. William Gillette.
William? Can't say I've ever heard of him.
The attacker, whose features were largely masked by a low hat and a muffler, was seen to smile down at the lifeless corpse before walking slowly off into the night.
If it was seen in that much detail, the witness must have been close by. Why didn't he chase him?
Mr. Terriss's dinner companion, Mr. Jonathan Graves, retired surveyor.
Too old to chase him.
Perhaps he just wanted to stay by his friend.
Perhaps.
Mr. Jonathan Graves, retired surveyor, immediately raised the alarm. Police Constable number 272E, John Bragg. We understand that the Detective Department at Scotland Yard has been brought in and a speedy arrest is confidently expected.
Ah.
William Terriss. Good Lord.
Mr. Holmes, the police have achieved nothing.
Miss Millward, in my experience, that is not at all an unusual state of affairs.
To be fair, Miss Millward, they have very little to go on. The street was dark. The killer was muffled up.
Something must be done. That is why I have come to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your note said that you're acting on behalf of the dead man's family.
His professional family?
Ah, you don't represent Mr. Terriss's widow, then?
No. Amy Terriss is too overcome to make any decisions.
Of course.
I am here on my own behalf and that of the company at the Adelphi.
Where the late Mr. Terriss has been leading man for some years.
And where I was privileged to be his leading lady. Mr. Holmes, this has been a devastating blow to all of us. Please say that you'll accept the case.
Mr. Holmes, I'm truly sorry, but I don't see that I can be of any help to you. I've told the police everything I can, and God knows that's little enough. I've been to Scotland Yard on 3 separate occasions.
Well, my methods are somewhat different from theirs, Mr. Graves, which is why I brought you here. And please show me exactly where you were standing when the attack took place.
Oh, well, I was standing here. We just walked up from Bedford Street.
Where exactly was the murderer standing?
To the left of the stage door.
This is not the stage door?
Not the main one, no. This is a private door. Only Will uses it.
I see.
To avoid the crowd, you understand.
Interesting.
It's the old royal entrance. The management gave Will the only key. Solid silver.
So, the attacker was standing. Watson, if you'd be so kind.
Oh, yes, of course. Where? Here?
Little more to the left. That's it.
And Terriss walked up to him from here.
Correct.
How did he walk?
I don't understand.
Well, quickly, slowly, confidently, reluctantly?
Oh, I see. Not reluctantly. Will was always gracious when he was approached in the street.
Very good. Then he walked up to the man in a friendly, open manner.
Exactly.
Yes, and stopped, how far apart were they?
A little closer. No, that's too much. Yeah, there.
Almost directly between you and the killer. Now, how was Terriss standing? Relaxed or tense?
Relaxed.
His arms?
Really, Mr. Holmes, I can't be expected to remember every detail.
Did he carry his walking cane in his left or his right hand?
Oh, his left. How did you know that he carried a cane at all?
It was mentioned in the press reports. Very good, very good. His cane is in his left hand.
And his right hand?
Yes.
Yes, I do remember. As he walked up to the man, Will put his hand into his right coat pocket.
Like this?
Exactly. I have the scene exactly. I'm sorry, gentlemen.
How much more, Holmes?
Not much. Terriss cried out.
At least twice. Maybe 3 times. And then everything seemed to stop. It was the most extraordinary thing. And then he just sort of slipped down.
Like so.
Yes. Yes.
You're doing splendidly, Mr. Graves.
Terriss was down. The killer smiled at him.
Yes.
Now, if his face was muffled, how do you know that he smiled?
The muffler must have slipped. Yes. Yes, it had slipped.
Excellent, excellent. Now, what else do you recall of the man's face?
Nothing. I'm truly sorry.
No matter. You've given me vital information.
I have?
Vital information.